And now on Who's Views, a Doctor Who fan joins JT for a little chit-chat.
Hello everyone, it's us at Who's Views back again with another Chit Chat. And yes, he's waving to you all because look who's joining me in the Chit Chat today. I'm delighted to welcome from our very own chats, it's the Robert Payne. Hello, sir.
Hello everybody. Hello chat. Hello JT. Nice to see you.
It is lovely to see you. Thanks very much for saying you'd come on to Chit Chat and spend some time with me. Absolutely lovely to see you.
I hope it's frozen.
No, you're fine. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, you just stopped.
Oh, did I? Like this? No, it's great to see you, Robert. Listen, you know the format of the show. You know where it's all about. So the question I'm going to start with, as usual, is how did you find the Doctor?
Well, I found him a bit strange at times. No. I have parents who were watching it since the 60s. They I'm born in 1970, so I had my first Doctor was John Pertwee. But as I was growing up, some of the say they had what's the film Carry On Soldier. It's got Carry On Sergeant, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sergeant.
William Hartnell was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So if that was ever on, my parents would go, "Oh, look, it's the first Doctor," and I was like, huh? "What do you mean?" It was that, and then similarly with Patrick Troughton, you know, he'd be on the True Ronnies or something, acting as a judge in some absurd sketch, you know, and they'd say, "Look, it's the Doctor." I said, "What do you mean?" I've never met that. I've seen that before. So. Yeah, so I'm sure my dad was into a bit of sci-fi. We'd watch all the usual 1970s sci-fi, and I think when he grew up, he'd see the Outer Limits and the Quantum Mass experiment and all that sort of thing. So he liked to watch that, and I'd be watching it too, you know, ever since I was a little toddler and looking at the screen and wondering what's going on. It was quite. One or two episodes disturbed me, as you would. Well, I don't know. I can never remember whether I've seen it at the time or whether I saw it on a rerun, because a lot of repeats in BBC back in the day, wasn't it? Yeah. So, but the Autons, when they had the shop dummies, I'd have only been about. I don't know if I'd be old enough to see it live, but I always remember going around the local town and being scared of the dummies and the thing, because I think they come alive, you know, and that's why. And similarly, I was a bit freaked out, you know, when later on when Sarah Jane's face comes off in the robots invasion, isn't it?
Android invasion, yeah.
Android invasion, yeah, one of the two. I'm not. You'll find as we go that I'm not so knowledgeable about the episodes like some people are, but. I always remember that cliffhanger when robot fell over and it was her face and fell off the. Yeah. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
The googly eyes are sort of in the mask, you know.
Yeah.
And that really. So I was still able to be frightened at that age, but like people have said, that's okay because kids enjoy being frightened a bit, don't they?
Totally. Well, we did, didn't I? I mean, I'm like you. I remember. As though it was this morning, that episode cliffhanger for the Android invasion, where Sarah rolls down the hill and the face falls off, and those awful glass eyes. And all.
Yeah,
I mean, I was the same as you, like, what have they done to her?
The reality is going wrong, you know.
Yeah, and the beauty of it, Robert, of course, was you had to wait a week.
Yeah, and but the thing is, with it being episodic, you can the following. During the week, you could talk to your friends and they can say, "Oh, I haven't seen it," or "I'll watch next week." Yeah. Which you don't get now. It's all one and done, isn't it? With big long episodes. Yeah. If you missed it,
they were magical days, weren't they, Robert? Because you're right. You would go to school on the Monday and you'd all catch up. Did you see Doctor Who? And oh my God, what's going to happen to Sarah? And blah blah blah. And then you talk about it through the week.
Or you
next one.
Yeah, or you'd pretend to be the monster, you know. Because when the Santarans came up, so I must have seen the first Santaran episode with Sarah Jane there, Lynx or whatever his name was.
Time Warrior,
yeah, Time Warrior. That's the episode. So I told you I didn't know the episode titles.
That's fine. Don't worry.
And but they started off and they were doing that thing with their mouth, with their tongue. You go, imagine.
Brilliant, isn't it?
5-year-olds running over the yard going.
Yes.
And later on, you had the androids with the was it 3 doctors? Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
No.
What was the one with the when they were trying to get 5 doctors? That's what it was. It was later on with Peter thingy, broad guy, Davison. Yeah, I was trying to say Moffat, but that's his real name. and they had the things which leap out, do the jumping up. The
Warrior robot.
That's the ones, yeah. So you know all these things.
That Raston Warrior robot only appeared once, and yet here we are all these 40 years later talking about it still. It has such an impact. And I think sometimes, Robert, that's the beauty, isn't it, of characters that aren't seen much, really. Yeah.
Well, we've had a lot of overexposed baddies since, haven't we? But we used to jump around the yard and sort of go... Teachers looking at us like, what's wrong with them? Yeah. Another episode I remember was it must have been I Seen It Live, because when Joe left and they had Bessie going across the horizon. Remember that scene? I was doing that scene. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember it had a bit of an impact of it, you know. And my mother also used to say, especially when they mentioned it, or you talk occasionally about, remember when they had the maggots? My mother said, "Oh, it's awful. Give me the creeps," she said. So they used to watch it, you know, but it was a family show, you know, and everybody'd watch it, and I'd be we had these settees and chairs, and there was like a gap, like a triangular sort of gap in the middle. So I'd be on my belly watching TV like this. Imagine the scene, you know.
Yeah,
but it was fun. Of course, we had all those other programs on which we'd watch, and you know, Space 99 and Big 7 and everything else. So it was, and we had this also on BBC Two. They had a lot of science programs in those days too, didn't they? They weren't afraid of talking to people higher than tabloid level, you know.
No, you're absolutely right. And those shows you mentioned in there, of course, were part of the BBC's educational side of stuff, weren't they? And well, you watched them. I mean, I personally wasn't religious with them all, but unless they were forced on me at school. But that's where a lot of the stuff came. But they were always very good. And the ones that you would look, you sort of find yourself getting into it, wouldn't you? Yeah, well, you had James Burke, you had the Connections, famous timing with the rocket went up at the end of his sentence, and the QED and Horizon and the World About Us and all those things, you know. Quality, you know, things like that, Robert. Today, what has happened to the BBC? Goodness me.
I don't know what they're spending the money on, but it's not programs.
It's certainly not factual, wonderful content like those shows you've mentioned either, is it? You know, it's just all propaganda.
I think TV spread too thin now. Anyway, there's too many. You know, I mean, they talk about having 50 free YouTube channels for BBC. I think, what are they going to put in it? You know, one episode per channel.
One long episode.
Pizza of EastEnders and everything else. But going up, Doctor Who was a big thing in the 70s anyway.
It was.
In the 80s, not so much, because things got a bit... we didn't really appreciate the 6th and 7th Doctor at the time. Because, I don't know, it was... The 6th Doctor, Colin Baker, he was... my parents say, "Oh yeah, he was on the Brothers." So that's what he'd all recognized him. So they couldn't get out of the head of him being the Doctor.
All right.
And when I had Sylvester McCoy, it was like, oh, he's that funny guy off. What was the name of the show?
Well, he did Vision On. He did Jigsaw.
Vision On. It was my mind's blanking. See, I'm talking faster than I normally do anyway as well. So
don't worry about it.
I'm dressed as if it's 1999 today.
Nothing wrong with that.
My train traveling uniform.
Nothing wrong with 1999. I think I was in tie-dyes.
Well, you didn't have to admit it.
Do you remember all that phase, though?
I remember people having it. Yeah, it was all the
colour everywhere. It was wonderful.
Bit psychedelic, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Reissued psychedelia.
Yeah, you'd have to wear sunglasses on the tube.
Well, I'd have to be persuaded to go down the tube for a start.
Wasn't as bad in those days, to be honest. It's worse now.
No, I went on the tube. I went on the tube once or twice, but it's awful dusty, and I got this bit of a phobia of electricity, and like there's a live rail just across the way, and it's all surrounded. But not phobia, but I'm nervous about it. I mean, I worked in a power station as well, and you go past on a back 10 years ago. 15 years ago now. Just a project, 10 person. But you have to go past the transformers and just come in fresh electricity coming out of the thing. And it was on a damp day, it'd be crackle.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, looking past, anxious.
So can you not watch horror fan rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all about electricity, isn't it?
Well, I'm not that sort of phobic. I mean, I got a physics degree. I'm not frightened by it like some sort of primitive, No. Welsh. I know I'm Welsh, but I'm not. Let's not disparage. We do understand what electricity is.
But so you worked in a power plant as well. You didn't have Blake 7 coming to visit you at any time, did you?
Actually, the specific place was in the background in one or two of the modern Who ones.
Was it really?
Yeah, Aberthaw Power Station. It was. Now it's middle of being knocked down at the moment. But
was it?
Wow. There's ones anything with a. Well, the one with the oud and there was one with the I think that was it might have been the cement works next door was filmed there,
right?
But that was Aberthaw way, and there was one on the beach in the Capaldi era, and sort of time when John Sim was the master. They'd be running around big buildings, So basically anything with a big echoing building, stick it in a power station, and off you go,
Okay.
And of course, I got Badolf Bay down the road as well. So I live in South Wales, just to explain why I didn't travel there. So
what's Badolf Bay? What's it called in reality?
Well, we call it Southern Down Beach, but it's Dunraven Bay. It is so it's just south of a village called just by Llantwit Major and that sort of place, Barry, down the coast from Barry, really.
Right. Okay. All right.
And, you can go in there. I used to have a. Sometimes when when you turn the camera off and you got the icon there instead.
Yeah.
I had took a photograph of myself down there in sort of like in the sort of setting of the drab, rainy sort of bay, and I used that as an icon once. It was when I was on Noel's show, but it's you drive around and you're on the set of Doctor Who, really. And if you go in Cardiff as well, you got all the new Who stuff.
I know about Cardiff. I had friends that lived in Cardiff, and I went to see them for a weekend and got dragged around. But I think possibly every Doctor Who location up to that point, including the school in School Reunion.
Yeah, that's in Cardiff too, is it?
Yeah. I wanted to go shopping, but
there are many shopping opportunities in Cardiff.
Yeah, not more.
I don't know, less than there was. I every time I go there for something, I find the shop was shut or they moved or something like that.
Oh, the same as everywhere in Britain now, isn't it? Though it's a shame, really.
It's the online thing. People buy things online, and it's not the same.
It's not the same. You lose that quality, don't you? You lose that sort of the human interaction side of it as well. But I do miss sometimes from it. I mean, you would have known this being in Wales as well, because Wales was famous for its high streets, and I do miss those little qualities of the local shops and having a natter and your groceries from your. I call me old fashioned. I don't care. I miss those days. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't care.
Well, the the difference with individual shops is you got people who are experts in what they're selling, and they're enthusiastic in what they're selling because they actually own the shop. You know, they got a skin in the game, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they're not not just, oh, I'm working in the shop, somebody else is the boss back in London somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's their shop. They want to make a sale. They want to get you to come back by giving you advice and giving you things which you hadn't thought of. You know, it's personal. It's human. You know.
Yeah.
It's not Android.
No, it's not, which is where we're going, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad at the age I am, actually, because I can remember the proper world. And, you know, I don't have to worry too much, if you know what I mean, about a future world.
No, I know. I'm somewhat relieved of being on the second half of my life. Or well, we don't know, do we? So it could be tomorrow. It could be 10 years time. But yeah, when people talk about, oh, Doctor Who may come back in 30 years time,
I know. Yeah, I think to myself, yeah, who's going to care? I don't care.
I won't be here for the end of the anniversary, you know. Yeah, cheers, world.
So listen, talking about shopping, are you one of the fans like myself that collected or even still collects merchandise for Doctor
Who? No, for two reasons.
Okay.
Probably three. It's like the Spanish Inquisition, man. But I've never had the spare cash. And we've never. I'm a bit sort of remote from, sort of town, city, high street things, and I've never been into figures. But like I said, I collect mugs, so I got the old sort of mugs, and two of these. I got a TARDIS one as well, and I did start collecting the DVDs of the. I got the Brian of Morbius.
Yeah.
And and Genesis of the Daleks on DVD. Lovely. But then again, it's money, and you get distractions of life, and you think, I'm not really a big collector. I mean, I used to buy things for my younger brother because he used to watch the first Tennant era, and I got this. But yeah, in case I thought you might ask about merchandise. So this is the second series.
Oh yes, the box set.
But it's the one with the lenticular sort of thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it that's some inherited merchandise. We used to have two annuals when I was a kid. I was looking up which ones they would have been years. There would have been one was John Pertwee's, but it was 1975. Strangely enough, because didn't Tom Baker come in 74?
Tom Baker in 74, yeah.
Yeah, but the 75 annual has got John Pertwee on the front, according to what I saw online anyway.
Right, okay.
It doesn't seem to make sense, but it could be wrong. Depends where they make it, doesn't it? If they make it the year before, like they do with lead time for merchandise. And I think we had 1977 Tom Baker one as well. But that was bought for my brother, so my older brother. So when we found it, thought, oh, that's his. He's got his name written in it. Give it to him, Don't just take it and say, oh, it's mine now. It's all my precious Doctor Who annuals. So, and one thing I was thinking about with Doctor Who, there was a thing called children's TV themes.
Oh, yes. Look at that. Hold on a sec. Hold that up again. I'm going to bring that up full screen so people can see that. Yeah. Look at that. I remember that well.
He's no relation to me, CV Payne. I don't know what that is, but it's got the John there and a rather pink Dalek. I don't know why, and all the different themes. But the thing is, it says TV themes, but it's an orchestra doing it. It's not the real tune.
But you remember when we were kids, Rob? They were around everywhere because you had the Jeff Love versions and they were everywhere with it because. In those days, of course, they had to pay to use they had to pay a lot of money to pay the actual theme from a show. And it was cheaper just to rearrange it and do it yourselves, which is why they did it.
Yeah. So the Doctor Who theme on that is probably somebody with some.
No disrespect to them, but they all sounded the same to me. I remember those records being in the library as well. That's how I knew them because I would get them out of the library on the library ticket with a couple of books.
Yeah.
Take them home specifically just to listen to the Doctor Who theme tune, and I was always disappointed, Rob.
Yeah, well, it's like well, like I say, old cover version of it, and
A cover version, yeah.
Top of the Pops, you'd have you'd have these records, weren't they? They say that hits of the 70s, and there was somebody else's band doing them. They were.
That's right. The
covers of it.
Yeah. Do you remember all those K-Tel Top of the Pops album covers with all the Dolly Birds on the front of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, I think.
Yeah. They were massive sellers, and I think they were just massive sellers because the covers.
Because what?
Because of the covers.
Oh, well, yeah. Never mind the record. Well, that's what Pants People was.
Yeah.
Although when I was a kid, I didn't realize it was called Pants People. I thought it was Pants People because they were in their pants.
You didn't wear any. How could you make that mistake?
doing a really reconstruction, it's.
I used to love Pants People on Top of the Pops. Yeah. I mean, I think it was Pants People and then their successors, Legs and Co. Rob, that got me into wanting to try to be a dancer and an actor and all these things. Yeah. But I was blown away by, all the moves and the choreography. Oh, I love them.
It was a bit literal, the choreography, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the one with the dogs. Do you remember that one with the dogs?
Probably going like this way.
They're all sitting there on those chairs, weren't they? Very patiently with all these girls dancing around them for that song.
I can't remember now.
Oh, I remember that one.
I'm sure it's on YouTube. The big.
Sure it will be. Oh, it was so fun. Happy days, though. Happy days. Top of the Pops to me when it was on, because remember, Rob, it was always on a Thursday, and that meant it was so near to Doctor Who on the Saturdays. Remember?
Yeah, it was good. But you'd get Doctor Who on things like Blue Peter in those days as well, and
didn't you?
Especially Peter Purves was actually the on Doctor Who himself. I didn't realize till later because he was a generation before, But
cool.
He'd be there with his long hair, so sort of. Oh, I said, believe it or not, I used to be an actor on Doctor Who. The other one said, "Yeah, okay, Peter. Yeah, we know." You don't mention it much.
I mean, Peter was on the show for 10 years or something. The amount of time he had to keep.
They were excellent. Well, people were in those days, and they were allowed to have adults on television. They weren't sort of moved on to something else when they were 21.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
That's what it seems to be. I mean, because they've segregated all the children's television programs, so the adults can't see what they're telling them. They allegedly anything I've seen of it now, it's just a bunch of teenagers. It was like Why Don't You, but not as well made. I don't know, but you always get a Dalek coming on something.
I used to love that for Blue Peter because you never knew, did you? You never knew when Doctor Who would creep up. I mean, it was decades before the internet. And now you would be told as part of some sort of pre-publicity campaign, such is going to be on Blue Peter on Thursday or whatever it's going to be, or whatever day it's on these days, if it's on still. And, we had to watch it on Mondays and Thursdays and just go with what they were telling us what was going to happen in the show. And if there was a Doctor Who element, you'd scream, you'd go, oh my God,
don't stay here, don't disturb me. It was different time. They didn't have lead trailing for things, the BBC now is all coming later on and in 6 months' time and it's coming soon, and maybe you'll see it if you wait long enough and don't go on holiday. You might miss BBC and look on iPlayer. It's just a different era altogether, man.
It was,
what people don't understand these days is the telly wasn't on all day.
No.
we sat there watching the test card, waiting for the thing to tick down or the clock to go around. The seconds.
It's hard to imagine now, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but
you got school's telly in the morning, do you remember?
What's that?
You got school's telly.
Yeah.
But then even that would go off eventually.
And you'd have Open University on BBC Two as well in the daytime, so
2 o'clock in the morning.
Even in the daytime too, but dinner time. You go for dinner in school and you have some dusty fella teaching you trigonometry. It's all right, you're exposed to that sort of thing. It's but then like I say, back to Doctor Who, they you got a feeling that the people who wrote it had some idea of what science was. It wasn't just sort of fantasy.
Well, isn't it? I mean, if you look at who wrote Kit Pedler, Jerry Davis, for example, they were scientists, weren't they? They came in and that's how the Cybermen came about. Although that concept in modern times seems to have been lost, really, to an extent, I think.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Cybermen, they've changed them so much that they you didn't suffer the Jodie era, so you wouldn't have seen the farm climb into farm.
Oh, they said farm.
Yeah, well, it might as well have been. That's the family, the sort of hey fam.
I hate that saying.
Flashback. Sorry, I'm just having a moment.
No, that's fine. Share it with me. It's absolutely fine.
Get it out.
Yeah, exactly. Think of me as your doctor.
Therapist. No, they were at hide from the Cybermen at one stage. They're on a cyber ship.
Okay.
Over in somewhere. I think it was when the Cybermen landed on the top of the Gallifrey Citadel. Anyway, they hid inside cyber suits. Now you don't hide inside cyber suits. Cyber suits are the exterior of the cut to bits person inside, which is
the blob. Out the human inside.
Not really. They I think something they sniffed is that that's a bit smelly, but they treated them as suits of armor.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They treated them as suits of armor. Just sort of put the helmet on and put the climb in the thing.
No, you can't do that.
And they were standing there, sort of trying not to breathe and trying not to be noticed as the lone Cyberman was there, sort of sniffing at them, through the eye holes. And Yaz and there was like, I'm scared. And is it Brian? I know. I can't remember his name now. Guy who was the comedian who was.
Bradley Walsh.
That's him. Anyway, his name was. I can't think his name was Brian. Anyway, not relevant. Shut up, Rob. But if you, they've got simple things like Cybermen are people who've been cut up and mainly robotic with a bit of blobby stuff inside, maybe a brain and some eyeballs, I don't know, whatever they've got left. And that's why the earlier Mondasian Cybermen are so much better, because you can see the people in gloves and you see the horror, body horror of it more realistically, And there was a time when I used to be more afraid of Cybermen than I was of Daleks, because they were more horrific, because you could sometimes see the chin moving inside. So there's like a man trapped inside, Say, what have they done to him? Poor chap,
Yeah.
And the Daleks were just sort of like, I'm going to take 10 minutes to try and threaten to kill you before I shoot and miss you. It's not, they're not the best conquerors of the universe, really.
Yeah.
But Cybermen, they've really ruined them. So, it's not the best series. But then again, that's the weird thing about it. They've made Jodie's era more realistic more Doctor Who than it was at the time because of Ncuti,
You're not the first to say this to me. People are sort of, they're not reappraising the Jodie Whittaker era.
No, it's still rubbish.
It's absolutely awful. But they're saying it was better than Gat was. And that's saying something, isn't it? Especially if you're giving me, I didn't know this. You're giving me the example of not knowing and understanding what your show is about. If you're allowing script to go through, we can basically take a cyber suit off a hanger and wear it.
Yeah. Yeah, they were empty cyber suits.
No,
and they call them cyber suits as well. And they had guns on their arms like they do, and right. they would shoot. The assistants, we call them, were shooting with them and that. So how do you connect to the mechanism that shoots? Because it's not a button inside. It's probably in the real one they would have been all integrated to their cybernetics.
Yeah.
It's like redoing the Borg, and it's just sort of somebody putting a headset on. That's not what it is. It's invasive. That's the whole body horror of it. It's an invasive transformation, and used to have the thing going chop 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 when when the Emperor of Steel, or what it was called.
Well, you give me another reason to think, oh, I'm so glad I didn't watch and participate with that era.
That's bad enough, but they had flying Cybermen heads as well.
Oh, I saw that. That was in Capaldi. That's when I really.
No, it was no. That was with Jodie Whittaker's era, because they were
there as well.
Yeah, they had that flying heads. They were like sort of drones, but they were like sort of space head, and they were shooting from the eyes and that. When they did that in
Capaldi's era, I remember thinking, Rob, this is going too far now. This is silly.
Yeah, you could see, some of it was silly. Some of it was if you put like everybody says, in a way, Capaldi was the last classic Doctor as the acting wise.
Yeah.
He could have fitted any of this. He could have done any of the scripts in the past and been really believable. If you had Capaldi doing the stories of 6 and 7. It would have been amazing, Of course, he'd be too young, but then he'd be only in his 20s or teens, or whatever. But Capaldi's got this gravitas, this sort of, I'm the Doctor, and I'm a bit scary at times. Eyebrows be looking at you, and that sort of thing. And don't make me angry. You don't want to be anywhere near me when I'm mad at you. If you got to know what you're doing, me. And now it's like sort of, hey, Bob, and like I call Jodie Peggy in space. She's like Peggy Olenshaw in. She just talks just like Sue Pollard, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I know she can do accents, but she was. They probably told her, just be yourself, enjoy it and be sort of all excited about the world around you. Well, yes and no, because yes, you've had a regeneration and you're getting used to things from your new generation's psychosis, whatever it is. But you're still thousands of years old and you've still got this experience. So why are you running around like as if you're an hyperactive, sunny delight drinking 5-year-old,
Yeah, exactly.
And the clothes didn't fit, and she was all like breathless and sort of like, oh, what's up? Yes, it's really great. Like, sort of with a broad, I don't want to sound prejudiced to people from Yorkshire, but when you think Time Lady or Time Lord, you don't think somebody from Wakefield area.
No.
Because it's the same as if somebody was from Wales or from Cornwall, you can imagine or a Devon Doctor, these Cybermen, they come and get us, It's not. There's the Doctor is a Time Lord. I know it sounds all aristocratic and things, but they have been supposed to be been around for millions of years, dispassionately observing the universe, doing the old Doctor Who there. And they had a what's the word? Composure about them.
Yeah.
And and they sort of yes, and come on, let's go and look at things. But they look at things enthusiastically. They want to sort of see what's around, but they were looking at the excitement part of it was from the companion's point of view, and the awe and look at that. And the Doctor got the fun out of seeing somebody else's reaction to it for the first time, rather than seeing it himself the first time.
Yeah,
it was like the Doctor knew what was going on, and it was always in the back of his mind that hang on, there could be something up here, and we might have to stay here and sort something out. But now it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Running around in that thing. Let's go running over here. Let's go run over here. Let's make a mistake and then have to live it, tie it up in the last episode finale.
Right.
Or in Shooty's case, go hey, leg up in the air and.
Oh, don't start me on that one. Did you watch the Shooty era then as well as the Whittaker one? Yeah,
I've had this approach of staying with the body until it's cold. It's I want to see out of.
Pardon? That's being a fan for you.
Yeah, well, it's I don't want to give up on it, and sort of because it's something that's I want to be a witness to the crime. You know what I mean? I want to be able to say, if I'm going to be able to criticize it, I'm no going to witness what I'm criticizing and have I feel as if I've got more of a right to criticize if I've seen it. And I can say, look, this is wrong. This is what they did, and I saw them do it, and I know why they did it wrong and what was wrong about it, because that's not Doctor Who, and he wouldn't do that because he is aware of the different cultures and different planets and everything else like that. Yes, he's got certain morals, and yes, he's liberal in a broad sense of the word, but he's not a random amoral idiot jumping around the place and just sort of doing things for self-satisfaction, which is more what the Master's idea is, that doing it for himself. The Doctor is like, as the famous Capaldi speech is, he's just idiot in a box wandering around, and maybe if he's trying to help people from time to time, not getting it right every time, but he's just trying to make a difference.
Yeah, and that's what the character was all about, wasn't it? That I think the character itself, Rob, I don't know what you think about this, but I think the character itself has been changed from the original series now as well. I especially when I came back to watch Doctor Who for the Gatwa crap.
Yeah,
I couldn't see the Doctor at all in any of the episodes. Not once did I see the Doctor.
There was one. As much as I criticize the Jodie Doctor era, there was one point when she seriously up. I know they always make fun of this episode, the Haunting of Villa Diodati, with the this one they set in. There's all these poets and they whatever. Long story, you don't care. You didn't watch it, so it doesn't matter. And I don't want to bore you with it. But she said, actually, I got to do this myself. It's not a level flow chart or organization chart. Sometimes I got to be at the top of the pyramid and take responsibility for things, Right. And the seriousness was so in contrast to the rest of it. He said, "Oh, there might be a few bits of DNA of the Doctor still there, And similarly, or ironically, there was one time when I can't bear saying it, but they had time personified on some planet somewhere. There was this personification of time, and it put on the appearance of see you squish your eyebrows at the
yeah.
So this personification of time and was trapped on this planet, and these Azure and these one you might have seen photographs of these Liberace skull people.
No.
And
Liberace.
All these braided clothes, and there's all sort of spangly and
purple.
Yeah, one was purple, one was goldy colour.
Yeah, I've seen a purple thing. I wondered what that was.
Yeah, they had like skull.
Yeah, looks a bit like a glam Skeletor.
Yeah, that's right. Skeletor with a lot of glitter glue and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were trying to be. There was all to do with flux, wasn't it? So
I see.
All part of that malarkey.
Right.
But anyway, when Time was talking to the Doctor, she was more Time was more doctory than the Doctor was. So what I'm saying is, it gave me the idea that if she'd had the direction and the writing, Jodie Whittaker could have pulled off being the Doctor, if you ignore the fact that they've done a gender swap on it. So what I'm saying is, it was interesting and disappointing at the same time, because you could see that she's capable of doing it.
All right.
Of being serious and being, this isn't sort of silly games. We're not just running around like a crazy, like I say, hyperactive kid. You could be serious and bring some gravitas to the role.
Right.
She is able to do it, but she wasn't encouraged to do it.
Are you saying, Rob, are you saying that thingy, what's the name? Whitaker.
Yeah.
Played time as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if you didn't pick it up. She was talking to herself. So the doctor was. Oh, tell you what, this plot is so convoluted. I can't remember how it actually came about. But she was two of them on the planet. And there's all this sort of, they overdo the special effect when it's like all this whizzy, dusty stuff flying about, Anyway, sort of come out, and then there was Jodie Whittaker standing there, but she's like personification of time itself, which is how is that supposed to be? And they, but she was like, but she said, "Oh, you haven't got as much time as you thought you did, and it's ticking away for you." That thing. It's like sort of. But she was like sort of, yeah, I know more than you do, and we're sort of, there was an ethereal quality to her that you'd expect from a doctor that you didn't get with Jodie playing the doctor. So the doctor was like, Jodie was playing the doctor was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? I don't understand. What are we going to do? What's happened to Yaz? I forgot about Yaz. What about Brian? O'Brien, his name, wasn't it? That's what I call him Brian. Something O'Brien. So she is capable of doing it, but she's not encouraged to do it. And so, again, that's the problem with the era. There was, I think Chris Chibnall has got a bit of he's not that keen on Doctor Who. He's been embarrassed by Doctor Who because the only time he was known about, all the thing people know about him in the past was, he was that gawky kid on that program slagging off the Pip and Jane Baker,
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder about Doctor Who anyway.
I absolutely certainly did. Absolutely certainly did, because he wasn't popular back in the day for going on open air and saying what he said in the manner that he said it. Even with various people in and around the local group in Merseyside, of which I was a part, Rob.
Yeah.
I came into it after that. I joined them after that. And there was a sense of embarrassment around it. At that point, at that point, they were also suffering from the fact that JNT turned around and said to them all, no conventions, no access to this, no information, blah, 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 because he really laid it down with them, because they were quite vociferous. But Chibnall was part of all that as well. And I'm totally, when I heard he was taking over from Moffat, my heart sank, because I thought he's going to go out to deliberately do what he can to piss off the fans. And he did. He absolutely did.
He's a strange fella.
Yeah.
I mean, when people claim to be a fan, I mean, I'm somewhere between a fan and a normie, as they call them. I grew up, I watched Doctor Who, I enjoyed Doctor Who, but as I've explained earlier, I didn't collect figures. I didn't collect. I've got a big shelf full of DVDs. I got about 20 DVDs at the most. Most of them inherited. And the occasional mug, but it's just not a thing I got into, because I got other things I'm interested. I got lots of different hobbies. I got my shelves are full of things like model airplanes and things like that.
Oh, the model airplanes, how far? But they Airfix and stuff like that, do you do?
Some are Airfix, some are other manufacturers, but if I had the camera around, you see the only things I've got on shelves at the moment are CDs, books, and model airplane kits.
Good for you.
Well, it keeps me out of trouble. Bit of modeling airplane.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's amazing that I'm so glad to see that people are still doing that, because I recently was told, because for some reason this came up in a conversation, and I said, I remember so many of these Airfix and model kits when I was a boy, and I had lots of them myself. I had the airplanes, I had some battleships, I had a lot of sci-fi stuff as well. I had the Star Wars kits that came out, and I quite liked making them all. And it came up that when I said, I wonder if the kids still do it, and apparently they do.
Yeah, it did. I mean, a lot of people started it during the COVID era. Everybody stayed at home, so there was a bit of an increase there, and they've got. It's a middle-aged thing, because kits aren't as cheap as they used to be.
Not actually, yeah.
So, and some of them, they're more aiming. Certain manufacturers are aiming for the more detailed, engineeringly accurate things, which is supposed to attract the older people who can afford to pay 60 quid for a kit. And I know for the 148 scale ones, the ones I built you, the ones I showed you now, they're more about between 50 and 20 pound each.
Ooh, wow! That's still expensive.
Yeah. And then, but then you have other ones, then you got other small kits like this, and they're like
oh yeah,
6 pound each. They're re-releasing the vintage kits.
Lovely.
So that's from the old days. But
the old days.
I know you talk about kits, but anyway, I've lost my thread of how I got around to saying about that now.
Don't worry about it. Carry on talking about that if you like.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
No, I used to have a Star Wars Darth Vader's
TIE Fighter. I had that one. I had that one as well.
One of the road sides, yeah.
Yeah.
I built that because back in those days we didn't have paint, so say didn't have paint. I was relying on my dad buying it, and he was like, "Oh, spend money on that." Yeah. So you painted it, you left it as you want, and you imagined it was a certain color, And we had, like I say, I had a Bismarck and a Ark Royal, and I had a Klingon bird of prey as well.
How fantastic!
That was a bit of fun.
I remember seeing a Klingon one.
Yeah.
Well, I would have liked.
Well, they're all available, I'm sure, and they're redone. But I've got a stash of them at the attic.
Oh, that's brilliant, Rob.
Brilliant. Yeah, I occasionally still.
Isn't it wonderful though, Rob? That model making is still around, and it's actually coming back into the television and film industry as well, because they're fed up with CGI now. Isn't it great that they're actually getting these kits back and making things again? Yeah,
well, it's anything that makes people use their hands and their imagination is fine. It's great because you can, like I say, that's how animations and the future filmmakers will have it in their head of how to arrange and direct things, and know that things can take a while to swoop a certain way because of the, if they know about aeronautics and they know about the physics of movement of things, they're not going to sort of make a animation then with CGI where it goes like that from that to that, because it can't, because G-forces will snap it a bit,
Yeah.
So there's all this information built in the process of building things or a hobby of any kind. You learn other things than the title of the hobby. I mean, you learn about economics in a way, because things cost money, and you got to be careful how you use things. So that makes, I think, when people grow up, then they'll be able to handle budgets of films, hopefully, so that they don't, waste time and money, and the health and safety of not sniffing the glue. So,
we used to call that common sense.
Yeah, well, a policeman once told me, common sense isn't as common as they say.
Well, that's why a policeman told you that. But yeah. Oh, no. So were you making these? You've been making these models since you were a kid, and you're still doing them now as well. Do you have an absolute favorite one?
That's difficult to say, because you enjoy. I got. Short answer is no. But one I have got this one, but the third of the same kind it's been. It's a Westland Lysander kit. Used to use it for that's right. Used to use it for special operations and
look at that.
ground attack, sort of supporting the army, spotting and things like that. But why I'm mentioning this one is because when I was a kid, I had the same kit. This isn't the one I had since a kid, but it reminds me of the one I had when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's a standing in for the same one.
That's lovely.
And that wasn't painted when I was a kid, but that could be one of the ones I'm glad I've kept. And that's the oldest one I've still got, because you go through phases. I went 10, 15 years without building anything, and then, but I worked somewhere where a colleague was doing it, an older colleague was building. And so, of course, you buy then and say, oh, I bought something and talk about it in work, So it's a bit of a common interest. And that got me back into it. And thousands of pounds later.
That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
why
that's the thing.
Why is it that hobbies and interests always cost us a lot of money?
because they can.
Yeah, because they make money off us.
Because
like the BBC's been making money off us all for bloody decades.
That's the point of collectibles.
Yeah.
Because they know people are a bit psychologically trusted they need to have the full set or the extra one. They'll be happy when they get the next one, and they want the next one then.
Yeah. So did you say you're painting these things now as well?
Mm.
Oh, lovely.
By hand.
Lovely. How do you manage that? I've always admired people that can do these intricate little, because I can't. I'm very ham-fisted,
I'll show you how I manage it now. It's have I got one here, or have I put it away? Oh yeah, there it is.
This is great.
A desk magnifying glass.
What? Is that how you do it? There's the secret, everybody.
Well, it is in as much as my poor old eyes aren't as up to what it used to be, so I can do things underneath it.
I wish I'd known about that back in the 70s when I was trying to do those bloody Star Wars things.
Back in the 70s, they probably weren't available, but it's all you use acrylics, and they're easy to wash the brush, and you don't have to. But as I say, it's a transferable skill. It's something you can use in television as well in the old days, because you see Red Dwarf or the aircraft from. Spaceships from Blake 7, you knew they were made out of bits of toothpaste tops and parts, sprues from a kit, You can almost tell what it was made out of.
No, you couldn't. That was the beauty of it, though, as well, wasn't it? I mean, you joined us for our Blake 7 reviews as well, and we've got Richard on there, haven't we? And he does the models for the new versions as well. It's just so lovely to see it all coming back. I'm really excited about it.
It'll come back, or there'll be ebb and flow like any other hobby. It's just like cross stitching came back, didn't it, in the 90s, and then went away again. And
they came back with COVID, like your model deal did.
Yeah, but that's the mean. So that was something which they used to do in the Tudor era. It used to be all the pages of ladies doing the cross stitching. And that came back, and then somebody thought, we'll encourage model making over when everybody's stuck at home. We'll encourage DIY or whatever it is, or painting or watercoloring. You get those adverts on television, just for three parts a month, just for $2.99 for the first one, and then £10 afterwards.
Yeah, then £100 every month after. Yes.
Yeah, it's collectibles, and sadly, collectibles are what keep the antiques business going, because people die, and not to be too morbid about it, but the stuff we leave behind is ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
there's all these landfill sites full of second new era Doctor Who bits and bobs that people don't want anymore.
Don't mind that so much, do we?
Pardon?
We don't mind that so much. I mean, you've heard me say on the show so many times over the years now, especially certainly within the last 10 years, I've walked up and down various high streets across the United Kingdom, Rob, and all I've seen in the windows on charity shops are Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant produce. Yeah. And I've seen lots and lots and lots of it, because it shows me that the kids that were kids when the show came back in 2005, 6, 7, grew up and didn't stay with Doctor Who and got rid of all the things they associated, as you do, with childhood. Yeah. And you see all this, and it's not as if just people like us are going to go into the charity shop and buy this stuff, because either we've got it before or we're just not interested in supporting it,
Yeah. Or we've realised we're in our 50s and we can't live long enough to watch them again. As far as not to be morbid, but it's you end up. I'm not anti-collecting things, but you end up with a lot of things which you're going to leave behind, and enjoy it. That's fine. If you enjoy looking at it and you collecting it, think great. Got a nice little display there of all every episode from one to the end. Great. self-satisfaction.
Yeah.
Good luck. But somebody else is gonna put it in a bin for you afterwards.
Oh no, I'm taking all mine with me. Yes.
Big mausoleum of
all coming with me.
Yeah. I'll have a tour of what you used to own.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Never mind the Brighton exhibition or the Blackpool exhibition. It'll be the JT exhibition. Come along and see.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to realize that you're a model making fan as well. That's wonderful, because I don't think I've met anybody else that has told me about model making. That's wonderful.
PD Rich does models as well.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
It's surprising now. It's a bit like it's funny with hobbies like that. You don't talk about it because people think, oh, I knew each other, oh, model. So you grow up, No, I don't want to grow up. Thanks. I'm enjoying it. So leave me alone. And it's like Doctor Who in the 80s. You stopped admitting that you watched it because you had things where, like these days we look at people like Ken Dodd or the guy who did Sale of the Century, Nicholas Parsons in Doctor Who, and you think, oh, that's a nice little cameo. But at the time, at least for me anyway, and people I was in school with, it was like, why is the guy off Sale of the Century in that? Because they didn't. They didn't. It was absurd. It was like sort of Mr. Humphrey's been in it. It was ridiculous. And Ken Dodd was like, hello.
Yeah.
So it was, and I think for us teenagers, me anyway, we had the feeling that the BBC wasn't taking Doctor Who seriously.
Right.
It's like, are you making fun of Doctor Who now? You just being ridiculous for the sake of it. What's he doing there? He's not a science fiction actor. He was an actor when he was young. Nicholas Parsons. He was in various radio things. He did lots of things, but he wasn't known for it. He did just a minute on the radio and other things.
He got typecast by the public with Sale of the Century because he did it for so long. Yeah.
And
Doctor Who proved that he still was able to do the acting. I remember being really, really, really pleased watching those episodes back in '89, just going, "Wow, he's really good."
Yeah, but for the most of the public, which is the ones they need to attract and keep.
Yeah,
he was Nicholas Parsons off Sale of the Century.
He was,
in appearing in some sort of stunt casting. I mean, even Bonnie Langford, when she came on. It was like, why is the annoying kid off Jess William on it? Why? That's what she was known for. At least with Ace, she was somebody different you hadn't seen everywhere before. But when they started bringing in people in who's been on lots of other things and they're known for other things, then you think, well, are they really taking it seriously anymore? And if they're not taking it seriously, should I bother? Like, how can I say, oh, did you see it last night? When you're 16, 17 and you're trying to be grown up. Yeah. You can't just say, oh, did you see last night? Did you see, who was in it? Oh, Nicholas Parsons. Whatever. I'm gonna listen to Bando Bali instead, whatever it is going on at the time. And you got the feeling in the 80s, I think, I did anyway, that BBC weren't taking it seriously. And it was seen as a kids' program, and people were sort of just people from kids' programs like Sylvester McCoy, but no disrespect to him, but talented guy. But you had the pantomime acting of the first episode he was in, Time of the Rani, and so that was like sort of, oh, come on, just stop, saying the words wrong and being all wacky. And I think this, for me anyway, if Doctor Who starts to be wacky, then you're missing the point. He's not a juggler. He can juggle. He can use his yo-yo and everything else in the right time. But it's not, for me, it's perhaps I'm too much of a serious person when it comes to sci-fi and Doctor Who. It's like, why are you making it? Why you do it? Why are you doing a parody of Doctor Who instead of the real thing? Why are you all bright colours and everything else? And hey, look at this or that. And I think too, they moved into filming it on video,
Yeah.
and a lot of it was in studio rather than on location. So there was that aesthetic about it, which was more sort of like a special on Blue Peter or something. You know, it was more. You could see that it was in a studio. You could see the flats had just been moved in place, and they're just doing it in front of it. And the things which were made to look like stone, because they're in color and in crisper video, they looked like if they were polystyrene painted grey. You know what I mean? Everything looked a little bit more artificial or a little bit heightened, and even, you know, you had the happiness patrol thing, and there was everybody was like acting like as if they were doing a drama club, you know, like a school drama club. So when you're a kid, I found it, I didn't want to watch a school drama club doing the sort of hey, where you're grown-ups, your kangs and whatever else it was, you know. It's like, stop being annoying. And so I wasn't really, my classic really stops at Peter Davison in a way, because I said I didn't get on with Colin Baker's costume as much as anything else. You know, it was like, how are you going to blend in like that? You know? Same as with Jodie, with a stripy jumper and a sort of trousers didn't reach the ground. It's like, you're not taking this seriously. But
it's strange how things come around, isn't it? Because you're saying they weren't taking it seriously in the late 80s. I say the same thing about it now.
So do I. Yeah.
I don't think they take it seriously now. I think now it's become too much about the money side of it. How do we make money out of these people that follow this show? I don't think it's about quality at all. Russell's just proved with 2 years of absolute dross.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it was. That's the trouble. See, when it started, it was seen as an educational children's program. I think that's the image I got. That they're going to be. It was to encourage people to think about. You travel through time, you'd see a bit of history, and you could talk about it, and you could experience it, and they'd have adventures, and it'd be exciting, and like a little story, you know, in the 60s. But then by the 80s, it was more sort of colourful and wacky and pantomimey, and then now it's seen as, oh, it's just a kids program, or you know, it's just silly old sci-fi. People making it aren't sci-fi fans, I don't think. No. I think that they're more sort of, they're entertainment fan people. They've gone to media colleges. I mean, whereas in the start we had people who were from they were writers, they were interested in concepts of high concept sci-fi, you know, and now it's like, well, right, what can we do to get them to use this for our political? How can we change society the way we did to what we want it to be like, using this as a vehicle? Yeah. And now we got Shooty, and well, we don't anymore because he's cleared off. Even he couldn't stand it. I don't think. He thought, hang on, we're a bit of a loser here. And they had, you know, you get Nigerian poets and strange people who write books about how to do sexual acts aimed at for children to read, and it's really. I mean, there was embarrassing things in Doctor Who in the 80s, but for me, but now it's gonna get smelling a bit nasty, you know. And they're making it for themselves.
Yes.
And they're wondering why people aren't watching it, because it's not for. When they say, "Oh, it's not for you." Well, why are you making it then on a BBC budget? You know, if it's not for me, if it's not for me, just make it for yourself and share the tapes around amongst your friends. Because as far as you may as well be wasting your time making it. If it's not for the public, it's not worth making.
Exactly. And
they don't seem to understand that.
No, they
because don't. It's like, we need to be corrected. We need to be explained to, and you end up. Even before the terrible attitude on Shooty and all that sort of thing, with all when the guy got turned to Anyway,
oh yes, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Robot
Revolution.
Yeah, and that's stupid as well. I mean, just everything was cartoony as well. They made the spaceships look like cartoons, and they made the we've all rehearsed all the things that are wrong with the 2D era, but yeah, it's how do they expect the general public to want to watch it in the future if when they did watch it that time there was some idiot dancing about and they were making comments about racism or the environment, or like the famous Awful 55 episode, and it was what we haven't seen, but they literally had a 5-minute slot at the end with a lecture about if you do this is going to happen. This is a visual of how the things were destroyed, and and they had the stupid thing like in the episode it takes you away, when they had a blind girl in a cabin, and there was like the thing with the frog, the one with the frog, they call it.
Oh, right, the one with the frog. Okay.
But when she arrived there, when the doctor arrived there, she at the sign said, "Oh, it's such and such date," and it's just before the Woolly Rebellion. And they said, "What's the Woolly Rebellion?" That's when the sheep have a rebellion against people, and they have to have a negotiated peace treaty with the sheep because the sheep can't. Really, I know the doctor lies is one of the things they say, but
he shouldn't do.
Well, this, yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. They encourage saying lying is all right, because the doctor lies, so I'll lie as well. But
yeah,
they this time the doctor makes up stupid things. Should be their tagline, Don't you realize that the doctor talks rubbish?
Yeah,
because
more frequently.
It's absurd. I mean, sheep versus people. What are they going to do? Bar at you too much or stand on your feet?
The thing about this preaching that comes through. You mentioned the that episode there from Jodie's Awful 55.
Yeah, Awful 55.
Yeah. They did it again to an extent in the episode with the war between the land and the sea, which was terrible as well. But as I pointed out, Rob, I don't know what you think about this. It's always aimed at a Western audience. They're not going to aim the show and preach the people that are actually doing all these things, like in Pakistan and the Indian stuff,
China and everything else.
China, they're not going to go. They won't aim things at them. They won't criticize them because they've got an easy. Talk about sheep. It's as though that everybody that's watching it, the people that aren't criticizing it, they are sheep. They're just following blindly what they're being told here. But the bigger picture is, we've done our bit. We do our bit in our country, in our lovely country. I mean, we've been recycling since I was a kid.
Yeah, cool.
It's not us that's created all the plastic in the oceans. Not really. It's the bloody third world. I've seen videos, Robert, where these idiots, these people, have gone to the rivers and poured their rubbish in the rivers.
Yeah.
So these do-gooders making stories set there just with the character going, if they want to preach, oh, you can't do this, and they'll get him then, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's rivers in parts of Asia where you can just walk across the rubbish. You can't see the river flowing. It's literally disgusting.
Did you know as well? I saw a video before Christmas.
Was the video before Christmas?
I saw it before Christmas, and it was a video that somebody showed me, and it was in Glasgow, which sickened me. And it was a certain demographic going towards the River Clyde in Glasgow and throwing their rubbish in the river. Because
that's what they do back where they're from, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, any message. I mean, nobody's watching Doctor Who anyway, but any preaching that it's given, it's not getting to the right audience, is it?
Well, they're not going to be watching it. Well, they're not going to be watching it for two reasons. One, they don't care, and B, the morals and image of the Doctor at the moment is totally against their religion or their culture. Yeah, so you've got millions of people in the country who will never watch Doctor Who because of all the
Well, they haven't grown up for it for a start, Robert, like we did.
No, they haven't grown up for it, and it's seen as a Western thing because the girls are running around in dressed like Perry.
Yeah. And it's science fiction as well, which isn't looked at. Well, it's supposed to be science fiction. I sometimes think that's the other reason that Russell is frightened of now doing something like science fiction. I've said before that I think he's terrified of writing science fiction because it might scare the kids, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. But you can't do that now because you might give them anxiety and all this bull. Now, it's all right to preach to them about, the world's going to end tomorrow for one reason or another. That's going to give them bigger anxiety than anything else, and it shouldn't do. We should be taking them away from that because it's supposed to be science fiction. Well, I think the reason is because there's certain now people that they're thinking, we can't say that because it might offend.
Well, try growing up with Dancing with Tears in Your Eyes and on the charts. or Two Tribes, or whatever it is.
Two Tribes. That's a heavy song even for today, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
and as I said on the channel, we grew up, Rob, with the Cold War.
Yeah. Well, I'll get back to planes again. They on the RAF yearbooks we used to have at ASO, you could buy them. They had a little section where they could identify Warsaw Pact aircraft, so you could know what's coming at you.
Yeah, so you knew what happened.
So I knew what the enemy looked like, So it was
sensible.
Yeah, but it was always, if it wasn't that, it was the news was talking about economic disaster. There was discontent with the fuel shortages. People were, literally pushing the car to the garage to try and find fuel.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had the snows, and we'd have to walk to find bread. Through the drifts. Yeah. But these days, kids get anxiety because they never faced the psychological maturity of facing up to problems and solving them. If you're afraid of things, it's because sometimes you don't know, it's unknown and you haven't encountered it before.
Yeah.
So it's the nervousness of the unknown,
Yeah.
So
Great. Yeah.
with dogs, I used to be more afraid of dogs than I am now, but I don't trust them anyway. But you can't trust a dog, especially the little ones go yep all the time. But
dogs,
once I know a dog, I'm okay with it because I know what to do.
Right,
I'm fine. But if the kids haven't experienced fear and trauma, and I don't want them to be traumatized, but
I know what you mean, though. Yeah,
psychological maturity comes from facing your fear and getting on with it. And realizing that you can have resilience, and you don't have to cower in the corner like, I don't understand. It's all things have changed. Can't understand change. Yeah, the only thing that changes now is the doctor every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then that's another problem is because you don't. People don't get to know who the doctor is anymore. Like we had 7 years of Tom, didn't we?
Yeah.
So he was iconic, and we know if you draw a doctor, we draw a hat and a scarf and
scarf. To this day. Yeah.
We had ad scarves as well,
Yeah.
But no, it's gone wrong. But I don't know if there's any future in it. I mean, whether it's come Christmas time, it'll be on direct to Freeview, I think, direct to iPlayer or something, because they painted himself into a corner, really have, and I don't know what they could do because I've got my ideal theories, but I'm not in charge of it, and they're not gonna do what I want to do, whatever they do, and I will be disappointed, but I will watch it because I want to know how are they going to pull this chicken out of the oven without burning their hands, It's maybe there were giblets.
Lovely.
Why didn't you want the giblets? You racist.
Listen, time's going to tell with it all, isn't it? But
yeah, I mean that's the ironic thing about time travel series. Time will tell.
It always does.
Who knows?
Listen, Robert, we've come to the end of our time. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed that. It's lovely to see you. Another face to a name. Thank you so much.
A voice to a photograph.
That sort of stuff. Great. I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Thanks for asking to come on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you. And thank you for all your support for the channel as well and being part of our shows. That is really appreciated. Thank you so much.
it helps to be opinionated, so I can say, like, this is what I think. This is what I think. They should do it like this. They should do it like that.
That's why it's called Whose Views.
Billy Pipe is not the doctor.
And so say all of us. So say all of us. And so say all of us.
Even Alex Kingston have said she's suspicious about it.
She did, didn't she? She's like, nah, she's not a doctor.
She said, I can't see her as a doctor now.
Yeah, that's her never coming back.
But if they'd had somebody of that sort of caliber as this female doctor temporarily, it would be more, you'd expect them to be behaving more like that,
Gravitas.
Confident, and not sort of, what do I do with the farm?
Between you and I, Robert, if it had been something like Alex Kingston cast, I might have looked at it.
Yeah, and if she'd been directed and given a script to act like a River Song confidence sort of thing, I'm here now, and look out, buddy. Look, Davros, you're gonna get sorted out again.
No, but somebody's already sorted out Davros. We'll never see him again.
Oh, sadly. The pro-disabled, anti-disabled person who used to write for Doctor Who. Yeah, he's offended a lot of. He's not content with offending the general public. He's specified offending the disabled people who used to watch it and get joy out of seeing characters who weren't all, saccharine. They were real tough guys, with stuck in a chair. There's more's been taken out of it than there has been given.
Totally agree. That's a great way of looking at it, actually. And I totally agree with that. Totally agree. But yeah, listen, stay with us as we find out where it all goes next, because we're all in it together.
Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Listen, Robert, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Chit Chat.
Yeah.
I hope you guys out there have enjoyed this as well. And you've really, if you have, give us, that's what he's doing there. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you still subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in coming on as a Chit Chat, then you can. It's down there. It's whosviews1@gmail.com. Just give me an email like Robert did. And you can sit in the hot seat chatting to me. Again, Robert, thank you so much. It's a delight.
No problem, mate.
So much.
Take care.
From Robert and myself, thanks for joining us. Until we see you next time on Whose Views. Ta-ra. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.